What's good, guys? It's CSG. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about everything that Illuvium is going to drop in the very near future and what each of those drops are going to include. This right here is where I'm going to get all of my information from. This is the June devlog that was written by Aaron, one of the co-founders. As we can see right here, we're starting with Private Beta 2, Louboutis, Private Beta 2 Overworld, and Illuvium 0. I'm not going to talk too much about the game loader because the first four are the real things that we really need to talk about. So jumping into the private beta, we've been playing the private beta now for quite some time, and for most of us, we've spent a lot of time playing the game, getting used to it, experiencing it, sharing it. On my channel alone, I've got videos of myself playing, streaming, as well as a whole bunch of other content creators. We had waited so long to actually play the game that when we got into it, we spent so much time playing it, and it was insane. The thing is, with any private beta, and I'm not gonna beat around the bushes here, it wasn't perfect. It wasn't flawless. Some of the feedback that we've had playing the auto battler is one, that there aren't enough alluvials. Personally, that's not actually a big thing for me. I kind of understand that they're just giving it to us so we can get a bit of a taste. I didn't expect that many alluvials, and the alluvials that we did get, I think, add enough of a dynamic experience that it's not too detrimental. The second bit of feedback, and this is one that I definitely agree with, is the fact that once we get to later stages of the game, maybe let's say wave 20, let's say wave 15, and you die, you're gonna have to go back all the way from the very beginning. And the very beginning to wave 10 is somewhat simple, and simple is somewhat boring. For people that have a lot of things to do, it's very hard for them to play that again and again and commit that 20-30 minutes just to get back to where they were. So that was a huge downside, and I know it prevented a lot of people really going crazy on this game, me being one of those people. With the launch of Private Beta 2, there are so many things coming out with that launch. The first of which is they are now going to have a total of 100 alluvials in the game for us to play with, so we can experiment with different composites, with different strategies, and it really gets us into the mind of as if we're actually playing, considering that the main game is going to have 150 or 151 if they include that legendary Mew type alluvial. Getting 100 of those 150 is a massive deal. The second thing to look forward to is Augments. Augments are going to add a whole nother layer to the game, and it's going to be unbelievable for those of us who are already playing. Not only are we going to have more alluvials to play with and build our strategies around and figure out, but now we're going to be getting augments implemented, which means we're going to use certain alluvials in a different way. We're going to strengthen it. We're going to play around it in a different, it's just a whole new way of looking at what we have. And I'm really excited to see what the pro players, what the best players in the community start to figure out once augments are actually implemented. The third thing is bonding. So being able to bond your hunter or ranger with another alluvial, and that opens up so many possibilities for classes, for affinities, for just different combos and strategies that you can do again. So it looks like the main goal of Private Beta 2 is to give us more, and just make the experience just a lot deeper and more exciting for us to spend more time and not get bored and take away that simplicity. The last thing that the thing that I'm personally, I won't say I'm most excited for, but I'm very excited for is checkpoints. Because again, I can't commit to playing this game for 30 minutes just to get back to a point where I'm really thinking about it. So having checkpoints is really going to incentivize me to play more, because I'm not going to feel like I'm just using up my time. I can play around, I can really see how far I can push myself, and that's going to be really cool. I know for a fact that the lack of checkpoints has been stopping a lot of people really spending a lot of time on this game. So with that implemented, I'm excited to see the atmosphere grow around the private beta and just kind of see more excitement in the community because they're playing it more essentially. And the final thing that hasn't actually been guaranteed, but I'm really looking forward to, is PvP. I know as a content creator, I would love PvP because it just means unlimited content. I could collaborate with other content creators, with community members. That alone is just going to give a lot more longevity to the private beta, not the game, just the private beta. So PvP would be incredible. There are so many ideas you can have that you could have bracket runs, community events, pro players competing against each other, coaches competing against others, coaching. Like there's just so many ideas, and the world opens up if we really do get PvP. Whether that comes in initially straight off the bat with Private Beta 2, they haven't mentioned that in the devlog at all, so I'm not too sure. It's hard to say. I'm hoping for it, but we'll have to wait and see. The next thing on the list is Louboutis, and we have been waiting for Louboutis, and we have been excited for Louboutis for a very long time now. I know a lot of people who are now stocking up on SILV, getting ready to purchase these Louboutis, really go crazy with the customizations, and really have a good time showing off what they have, their personality, and making sure they get a whole heap of batch 1 of Illuvitas, because at some point they are going to end. Regarding when we can expect Illuvitas, I'm going to break some stuff down for you. So the trailer for Louboutis came out 20 days ago. And from a marketing standpoint, and this is just my opinion, I'm not a professional marketer, it doesn't make sense to put out a trailer, build the hype, and then do nothing around it, kind of just sit back. That makes no sense at all. You're kind of wasting all of that energy and that excitement built from the trailer. We can see from the land sale that there were 8 days from the very first bit of content on the Illuvium YouTube channel to the sale itself. So 8 days. And when we compare that to the trailer coming out 20 days ago, there is a bit of a disparity there. Regarding the Illuvitas, so we got the trailer 20 days ago, and recently 9 days ago, we had Roger on the Illuvium Insider. Roger is the lead concept artist for Illuvium and Illuvitas, and on that Illuvium Insider, you could see Roger draw and design an Illuvitar in the space of like 30 minutes, and it was just incredible to witness. So I don't know exactly when we can expect to see the sale to happen, but I can't see it being too much longer, considering what it looks like from the outside, that the marketing rollout has already begun. So if we consider that, this is just my hope. I don't know exactly, and this is not a date that's been given. I'm hoping within the next month, we're going to be looking at Illuvitas. Next month, month and a half at tops is what I'm looking for. I can't, like I say, with the rollout starting already, I can't imagine them waiting that long and the hype sustaining. It's just not a thing that I see happening. So if we take that into consideration, a month, month and a half, and private beta is meant to come out before that, ideally, and again, guys, I want to say this is me speculating and me being hopeful. I just want to put this out there. This is not trying to influence you guys at all. I just want to put myself out there. I'm hoping for private beta 2 in the next 3 to 4 weeks. That's when I'm hoping to get it. So in the next month, private beta 2, month and a half for Louboutis. That's kind of what I'm hoping for. The sooner would be much better, but I am trying to be somewhat conservative here as well. All right, so now this is crazy. We can see right here that private beta Overworld is actually before Illuvium 0 Alpha, which is crazy. We were expecting Illuvium 0 Alpha much sooner than the Overworld. So if we do get that beforehand, that's going to be insane. It was mentioned in the Discord that it is interchangeable. We might still get Illuvium 0 Alpha before the Overworld. But now that we've got this, I'm kind of hoping that doesn't happen, because I want the Overworld way earlier than we get the Alpha. Or if they come in simultaneously, I'm not going to complain about that either. Regarding the Overworld, we got the Overworld leak about a month ago, and we've heard it from Grant in Vulcan's interview that they're already much further ahead than what we saw in that video. We've seen more leaks of the plant physics, we've seen the interdimensional stability, and I'm sure I just said that wrong, but it is what it is, out in Vulcan and Grant's interview as well. So it looks like a lot is being done. They've also mentioned that there are things being implemented like attacking plants, whether that's in the original Overworld beta that we get before the Illuvium 0 Alpha is unknown. I personally don't expect the attack plants. I think there's a lot that needs to be done with that. So I think we're going to expect that much later down, but even a bare bones, let us feel the environment, let us explore it. Again, as a content creator, being super selfish, I want to play the game so I can make content and share it with you guys. But I'm really excited. Even if it is bare bones, I'm really, really looking forward to it. So when can we expect the Overworld? If we follow the same thought process that we used for both the private beta arena as well as the Illuvitas, and let's say that we're looking between a month and a half for that, Overworld, I'm assuming might be 2.5, maximum 3 months. Again, I'm hoping everything's kind of squished together and we're getting things running really quickly, but that's just my hope. I doubt that's going to happen. So I'm going to say 2.5 to 3 months is what I'm hoping for with the Overworld. And for the last thing on the list, and this is a product that I'm super, super excited to get my hands on, we have the Illuvium 0 Alpha. For those of you guys who don't know, I went pretty hard on the land sale. I got myself 5 different plots of land, a couple of tier 3s and a couple of tier 1s. And I'm really, really looking forward to having the game in my hand, starting to build up my cities, starting to collect these blueprints. I know the cities are going to be wiped when the main game starts, but collecting those blueprints and really figuring that out and trying to build up these strategies before the game launches is going to be a really, really fun thing to do. Regarding the Illuvium 0 Alpha itself, we actually haven't heard too much from the team, which in my opinion is actually a very bullish signal. It seems like everyone's got their head down and they're really, really working hard. The original time frame for the Illuvium 0 Alpha was 4 to 8 weeks after the land sale, and that was 7 weeks ago. So if I'm being completely honest with you guys, I'm not expecting to get the Illuvium Zero Alpha within the end of this week, especially if we consider the order of release that they've presented to us in the devlog itself. Regarding being patient and waiting for the Illuvium Zero Alpha, I actually really don't mind doing that. I really want the game to be somewhat polished and really well done before we get it. It would be such a shame, looking at how well the Illuvium land sale was conducted and how well that was, it'd be such a shame to see the actual game rushed out. So I don't mind them taking their time with it, especially if we have the private beta 2 arena coming out, if we have a Louboutis coming out, if we have the Overworld coming out. If we can get our hands on those 3 things, I'm sure that's going to keep us busy, that's going to keep our attention focused, the content creators making content, everyone else talking and building that excitement around Illuvium as a whole, that we can kind of forget about Illuvium Zero Alpha for just that little bit longer and let them do what they need to do to give us a really solid and polished product. So that is everything that Illuvium Labs is coming out with in the near future. We have the private beta 2 arena, we have a Louboutis, we have the private beta 2 Overworld, and we have Illuvium Zero Alpha. I'm personally excited for all of them. If I had to pick one, I would say 2. I would pick private beta 2 arena as well as the Louboutis. Those are the 2 that I'm really looking forward to, and I think that's just based on it being sooner rather than later. But I want to know down below in the comments, let me know, what are you most excited for and what is the thing that you're happy to wait for? Anyway guys, I really appreciate you watching the entire video. If you like this type of content, as always, like, subscribe, and hit the notification button, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace!